ASL Season 2, Challenger League Round of 16.
Down here at the bottom left-hand corner, we have a blue Terran player from the team Carbot Fanimations. It is
MaddxDogg.
Love that name, man. Carbot Fanimations.
Oh, it's awesome.
Great. And his opponent. Why do you always make me introduce the Zerg? That's totally not fair. Zerg is the least fun word to say because it's the only one-syllable race. It does have a Z in it, though, so I guess that makes up for it some. Anyhow, in the top right-hand corner of the map, from Triple T, ladies and gentlemen, the green Zerg player.
Aecium.
Seeing how quick Saber's hands there are. I give him no time to react. I'm like QQing about getting the Zerg and then a 0.4 second introduction.
He even threw out like the announcery voice, like the intro voice, which you gotta ramp it up. That always gets the crowd hyped. I can tell.
Oh no, have you heard the QXCs? The QXC player intro?
I think I have.
In the top right-hand corner!
You watched way too much wrestling as a kid.
Oh, it's great. I loved it. I wanted to go over and actually hug QXC when that event had concluded, but he was in the middle of eating, and I never appreciate it when people come and embrace me when I have a sandwich in my mouth. It always feels, well, both awkward and it's also like what's the word I'm looking for here? It's just getting in your way, right? Like it's intrusive. I'm trying to eat here. And I need to, and a man like him needs to eat because he was burning a lot of calories with those vocal cords of his. Hatchery first goes down for Aecium, and it looks like he's going to be going into a 17 pool here, which is as greedy as it gets. Oh my God, what is he doing? What is Aecium doing? What is actually happening right now? Can you please? Is he just going to die? I think he's just going to die. I think
if he
might be
if he gets attacked like in any way. Which a Reaper will. There's the pool.
Well, Reaper is out in 3, 2, 1. Build time on a spawning pool, 65 seconds, guys. This Reaper is going to take less than 30 to arrive in the main base. That is going to be, what, at least, on top of that, of course, you have 24 seconds to make a Zergling. So we're looking at about a minute of free reign that this Reaper is going to have over this base. And there's going to be 2 right behind it. This is a lot of trouble for Aecium, Dave. I don't know what to say, man.
Yeah, it really is. He even had like the minerals to start the pool and didn't for a fair bit. Hopefully the Reaper for him will look around for a little bit before really committing, but he will be going after these transferring drones. I like this Aecium though. He's taking the gold. His opponent's gold.
That's cute, but he's going to lose a lot of drones. All right, he got a spine crawler.
That's the spine save, yeah. Trying to do something else here.
A little trick for the future reference, guys. You can build spore crawlers. They're less expensive, so you lose less money when you cancel them. In this case, I don't mind the spine so much because how is he going to deal with these Reapers? But
yeah, he might just want it. Yeah.
The Reapers should really be killing drones right now, though.
Yeah, it definitely is a bit of a waste of time. I don't even think a Reaper really outdamages this, but a second one coming in might. And yeah, Lings are now out, but that's not the best position.
All right.
Yeah,
well, the Reaper shall retreat, and MaddxDogg really didn't do a tenth of the damage that he could have done, but
yeah, definitely.
It's all right. You know, he's focusing on his macro, and I will never fault a player ever for focusing on their macro if you are anything below masters. Focusing on your macro is always the correct decision when you're in the lower leagues, and by lower I mean not masters, which isn't lower leagues. It's any league, right? Like. Seriously, macro is the most important thing that you can possibly look at because everything in this game, if you micro, like there is an efficiency that you can get out of your units where it's like, oh, you did more damage than you would have, but in almost every circumstance, if you're not spending all your money, one extra unit would have made a bigger difference than your micro.
Yeah, it's incredibly true. And then when people are reviewing the replays, look at those moments for when you got in a fight and then look at the effect of your micro and it'll be like, oh, I saved a roach. Or something, and then look at what you did at home or didn't do, And yeah, definitely, it's always going to be more.
I would like to change that statement ever so slightly. You said when you look at your replays, and and you're looking at you microing, I will probably say like, look if you're not macroing, and that's why you lost the game.
Exactly.
You can literally macro your way to masters is the phrase that they use. So
yeah.
All right, Zerglings are coming up the ramp right now. They're going to be denied here, Dave, and that is going to be that for the start of this game.
Yeah. They will do nothing, and this is kind of a case. Aecium is building nothing at home, and he does have 1,100 minerals, just doing 2 drones there, and he's supply blocked as well. Makes five overlords to clear that out.
Yeah, those are, I think, the 2 basic things that you want to absolutely master. Like first, there's no supply blocks and no pulling money, and they're the hardest things to do. Admittedly.
They are, yeah.
Like they're harder than anything else.
Yeah.
Which is why perfecting them will actually make you a Masters player. So, all right. Injects abound for Aecium. They have popped, and drones will begin pouring out of the many larvae of the hatchery orifices because he's got 1,000 minerals here. And here they go. Oh, he's going to make Zerglings. This is super interesting. Marines are pushing across the map as we speak.
Yeah, I think, I mean, he did see this force come out, and he knows he has to respond to it. Speed has just started, so that's not going to be ready at any point. He is making the Baneling nest as well. So he knows that he has to hold this off with just slow lings. They are rallied, like, right into the Marines, and yeah, he doesn't want that to happen yet.
All right, Aecium does manage to save a good portion of the lings, however. And I think he can actually fight this off with these queens and this many lings.
On creep and...
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he won't. Shouldn't have a problem with it. It's just kind of sitting there menacingly.
If he tries to morph some banelings though, and this push happens, it'll actually. It could at that point. It could be interesting which way it goes.
We'll pick off the Overlord and trying to come in here now. The Ling's still waiting, and a lot of drones are going to be lost here because he's just nervous to engage just yet.
Yeah, with the queens,
I think he is really waiting for either
and one
speed.
transfuse.
Yeah.
He actually would have been able to stop this, but now he's going to make 13 banelings, and this is, I mean,
nice
this is the classic case where you're macroing a ton, right? Or you're not macroing. He's pulling all these resources, 1,200 minerals.
He just loses the natural, and he just didn't have to. The banelings do go off, killing a bunch of Marines, but yeah, that wasn't really the priority.
Yeah,
there he does still at least have the gold, which is lovely. But another force, a little more menacing, will come out from MaddxDogg across the map as well.
So the biggest thing from Aecium was, being a little too frightened there, I think. He also transfused a hatchery that like we knew was going to die, but at this point, I think he's not going to be able to stop this follow-up attack. He's just too far behind, and I definitely attribute most of this to he does get one of the Widow Mines.
Boom. All the banelings gone. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but yeah, and he will just come on, and now there's nothing really there. Yeah, I think he's got a bit of a misrally there, too. Doesn't want to rally things right in. We'll try and morph banelings, morphing everything at once.
And when MaddxDogg comes up the ramp and sees, you actually have nothing, he's going to push in here. The banelings will finish, and they'll kill off these Marines. We'll see at what kind of cost efficiency. But MaddxDogg, he's actually looking at this. That was super interesting. He microed one Marine away. I just wanted to do that.
That's important.
He's like, I'll just grab this one guy.
That's like his favorite Marine.
But this push, I don't see being dealt with, man. There's 5 Widow Mines here. I think MaddxDogg's going to be able to seal it out with these 27 Marines. 5 Widow Mines. He doesn't even have to SCV pull. Go all bit by bit.
Yeah, definitely. He's trying to bring it. Like, he's making more lings, but he's not rebuilding the base or anything at this point.
This counterattack is cute, and MaddxDogg might bring his units home, but he definitely doesn't need to. Yeah. He'll just burrow those Widow Mines and be fine. If he can grab them. If he can grab them.
He's actually not yet. Yeah, they're trying to get down. One of them does, but nice little hit. We'll be going after the SCVs, but yeah, this Marine force here with the Widow Mine support is going to come up. There's nothing at home to stop this. We'll stim forward, and I think just kind of end the game. Yeah.
Nice banner drop out of Aecium, and that will conclude game number 1.
Our green player down here for Triple T, it is
Aecium.
Aecium's opponents in the top right-hand corner. Give it up for the victor of game number 1, MaddxDogg. I did it.
yeah. It happens at least once. Always.
MaddxDogg.
It's okay though, because for a second I thought you were top. So sorry.
Why?
The French.
I
had the French, even though that's a little
accent.
different. But yeah, the French accent, the weird one. But
Just make ups like, oh man, pretty French. All right, so here we are, merry-go-round, and Aecium is certainly he's got his work cut out for him. I recommend it all in. Anytime here against this is even what pro players do. If you know that you're facing an opponent who's substantially more capable than you, it is often worthwhile to just go for an all-in. Get creative with it, make it hard for them to scout, because they are going to be expecting you to all-in, but still it's often even worth it to just all-in. So we'll see. It's going to be a 15 hatch. That doesn't mean that's not entirely possible out of Aecium. We'll have to see where he goes from here, but I don't want to see a super late spawning pool again, because I think that cost him a fair amount of economy in the early game.
it really did, yeah. Yeah, unless you have a specific reason you're not going to spend this 200. And there he goes. This is but more on time, because he had floated up to like 350 before dropping the one last time.
The only reason that you're not dropping the spawning pool is if you're getting a 17 or an 18 hatch for your
Exactly. Yeah. So, that is it, and it will be Reaper first out for MaddxDogg yet again. He did pretty well with those to begin with. Actually, could have done more, as you pointed out. So we'll see
but
what
he
does.
definitely forces opponents to react, and that's the most important thing, right? Like,
for sure. Yeah.
the Reaper makes them make 6 links, and it allows you to build your command center on the low ground, which can be a little tougher for Marines to manage to do against something like a bunch of links. I mean, they'll both equally fail against like 13, 12 speed link push, but overall, Aecium, he's got a very nice setup in the early game here. He just needs to remember this Overlord coming up here in a second. I'm curious to see if he hits that when he hits 100 minerals. He starts the Queen and starts the Overlord. Cool.
There's the quickish third there for Aecium, which I do like. It will give him more larva available, assuming he keeps his bases. He did obviously have that gold last time, but Reaper will scout the wrong way first, which should buy a little more time.
This is an interesting call. You know, the quick third, by like standards, it's not. You don't want to do this normally.
Yeah.
But in this, you know, given all the variables here, I don't think it's a terrible decision. We could find out, especially if like MaddxDogg decides to go for. We see the factory going down. He's certainly going to go for some Hellions here. The real problem with going for the super fast third is take a look at all the larva that Aecium is going to have here in a second. And that he's going to have a really hard time using it. But right now he's got to deal with these Reapers. He does not have any Zerglings and is certainly going to take some damage.
Yeah, we'll definitely lose all 3 drones. He's not trying to build them into anything. There is the Queen up.
Oh, man.
Off creep, unfortunately.
Let's get around.
Yeah, might lose a couple more. We'll lose 1 more drone. 2 more drones. Yep. The Queen is just sitting there. Queen is watching his little babies die. Oh my goodness. Laziest
Aecium
Queen.
was really busy there trying to actually grab the drones and turn them into spine crawlers.
Turn them.
So in this kind of a situation, you know, this is where this third hatchery begins to pay off. If you're just not super confident in your macro, having a third hatch, whether it's on the low ground or whether it's in your main, is going to be a good thing. It just feels like the low ground's a little more risky. You know, a little harder to protect, but we'll see how it pans out for him. He's ramping up those drones right now, 5 on the way, and 3 Overlords in addition.
Yeah, definitely. Queen coming out at the third. The Reapers do try and run on back in. It's a Spine Crawler going up at the natural as well, but it'll sneak around and take out more drones. Get this last filler. The queen's not really attack moving. Exactly.
Yeah, this is an obnoxious amount of damage right now. There's that spine crawler that was converted by accident earlier.
We'll get one at least.
That was a guy that had 7 kills. A total of 10 workers have been lost already this game for a Zerg player. Props to MaddxDogg for doing a lot of damage, but I'm a little concerned right now, man. Aecium's got a big push coming his way here in a couple of minutes, and he's making 22 lings, but the real issue is just that he doesn't have the drone count behind it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, if you look at that third base, there's 5 drones like worshipping the hatchery or something, and not actually mining. So I think just a misrally or something over there. Yeah.
There we go. All right, he's on it. He's on it. He gets the drones mining, and that's real good. But what's not real good is that he made 22 lings, but there are plenty of Marines and Widow Mines to deal with that. Those 22 Marines are going to do nothing, and in fact, MaddxDogg is going to see them coming because he's got that Zonaga Tower.
Yeah, does know all about it. His production is about to ramp up incredibly here. And, yeah, Lings will come in trying to poke at the orbital, but these fellers are going to come down, and there's no speed or anything yet either. Getting a reasonable fighting position here, but the Widow Mines were a barrel. Does clean up all the Marines, and the Widow Mines take care of the rest of them.
Right, so now we just traded armies. Both players lost all their units, pretty much. The Terrans got a couple left, so now they have to rebuild them. However, if we looked at the money that our players are bringing in, Terran's bringing in twice as much. So what are the next 2 armies for these guys going to look like? Well, Terran's army is going to be twice as big, because he's going to make twice as much money over the next minute or 2. Zerg's going to be in a really tough spot. His next fight is going to be at a severely disadvantaged position. We'll see if he's going to be able to hold on.
We'll come in here. He's now got the speedlings, and he's actually able to sneak into the main, which is nice. Might pick up some SCV kills here, but a little distracted by the Marines.
Yeah, overall, he's going to get in a couple of hits, but he's still lost a lot of Zerglings.
A lot of these red SCVs, he's trying to target fire them down to get rid of them. And MaddxDogg actually leaving him alive for a little too long.
Missed a couple A-clicks there. He was actually looking down back at his natural. He sees the reinforcements coming.
Yeah.
And the Widow Mines clean up the majority of those Zerglings.
So good. Going after the mule. Denying those certainly helps out, but yeah, another SCP. Certainly not bad, but yeah.
Alright, so as long as he remembers to pull up his ramp here, the MaddxDogg is going to be in a fine position. I'm a little worried about a Ling run by, but it looks like the Lings are going to try to focus down these Marines, and they will be duly cleaned up. And this is where I begin to get a little scared for our Zerg player, man, because he's been doing all this attacking with only 20 workers. Our Terran player now has 38 and mules. Are you kidding me? He's going to explode in army supply here in just a moment, and there's going to be an unstoppable push within the next minute or 2 from MaddxDogg.
Yeah, definitely. And Aecium hasn't been really teching or advancing much beyond this. After the attack's over, he's putting down the Baiting Rest. It's got to get a little more in the habit of doing these things while he's making those little bits of aggression. That should be done already. He's actually also got, in the main, some more drones that are just sitting there. But we got the big push by MaddxDogg moving out across the map now, and there's just not nearly enough to stop it.
It's all right, man. You know, Aecium, I think, did really good given the situation. Remember, we were talking about go for the all-in. Aecium, I think, did that to the best of his abilities. And as you were talking about, you know, just not able to macro at the same time. And I think this comes down to he was targeting mules, trying to do these fancy maneuvers on the other side of the map. And going for those maneuvers maybe led to him. I mean, you look right now, he's got 500 gas, 500 minerals. He could have speed banes in 1-1 right now if he had spent that gas a while ago.
Absolutely. So, he's going to do the morphine here now. He's a little too passive in engaging this sort of thing. With the spine still up, he might have wanted to try to attack just then, and I think he might lose the hatchery again before... Well, he will lose the hatchery again before these are ready.
All right, well, Aecium is going to mount his defense right here. And, you know, he's still got that third base, which will be super nice. Oh, those Widow Mines could hurt so bad, but they're just not burrowing in time, so Aecium will clean up his
It does get the cleanup. Yeah, pretty good, but yeah, it doesn't save the natural. At least he does have the third.
Yeah, you should transfer some drones over to there, start up a lair, start those upgrades, and start scaling towards the later stages of this game, because you got to realize that, you know, your opponent is on 2 bases right now. He's probably getting upgrades, or maybe working his way to Medivacs. I mean, how are you going to deal with Medivacs if you don't have Mutalisk? Well, the answer is you're probably not. Aecium, he's going to have a big challenge ahead of him as these 3 Medivacs, fully loaded with units, do make their way across the map.
Yeah, and they get ultra annoying if they could get behind, say, mineral patches and things like that. It's just hard to get at with only Lings, and there's only a couple Banelings that are still alive. 3 drones chilling in the natural, but he's not remaking.
All right, taking a look at Aecium right now. I'm watching his POV, and he now sees the Medivacs. He's looking right at them, grabs his army, moves it into position, and we'll see if these units are going to be able to hit the ground, drop in half on the low ground, and avoids dropping the Medivac units on the high ground. He'll be able to easily clean up this natural.
Nice there to bait out the Baneling hits on just a Marine or 2. Will deny that natural from coming back up. The drop in the main gets cleaned up, but it's going to be hard to move down.
Banelings start morphing, but they're not here yet, and that's going to make less Zerglings available for this fight. The Lings coming forward, and the Queen goes down. The Banelings are still morphing. MaddxDogg, you want to attack. But you know what? I'll tell you what he's doing, man. He's back at home macroing, and that's a great thing to be doing. Now he's going to stem. These Marines will be cleaned up, but guess what? There's many more.
There's the macro. So, yeah. We'll stomp on in.
150 supply of Terran Bio just... well, at Aecium's front door, he's going to pull the drones to no avail. Widowmine's Burrow, and these are going to be some beautiful shots. Pow, pow, the drones disappear, as well as the Queen. And that's going to be it. GG. Aecium is going to fall 2-0 to MaddxDogg's incredible macro Terran.
Yeah.